You've probably found yourself imagining the future you want over and over, closing your eyes, feeling that rush of emotion, picturing everything just right. And yet, nothing really seems to shift. Maybe there's a brief flicker of change, a subtle nudge that suggests something's happening, but then you find yourself back in the same mental loop, stuck in the same space, trapped by the same thoughts. If this sounds familiar, it's likely because visualization alone isn't enough to bring your dreams into reality. There's a deeper force at play, one that goes beyond simply seeing or imagining what you desire. The true game changer? It's frequency. There's a fundamental difference between imagining a future and actually broadcasting it, between mentally seeing what you want and energetically becoming the person who already inhabits that reality. Visualization is just one piece of the puzzle. The real magic lies in tuning your internal frequency so that it aligns with the reality you want to call forth. Without that alignment, your dreams will remain just out of reach, no matter how vividly you picture them. You've probably heard the familiar advice to ask, believe, and receive, but the truth is the universe, or the quantum field, doesn't respond to mere requests. It responds to coherence, to the energetic signal you emit through your whole being. Not the signal you send out when you meditate or picture your goals, but the one embedded in your breath, your choices, your emotions, and your very presence. The universe doesn't listen to your words. It responds to who you truly are beneath those words. This is the key code that unlocks manifestation. Once you grasp this subtle but powerful shift, everything begins to change. Not because you're forcing it, striving harder, or thinking more positively, but because you stop chasing. You stop begging the universe for your dreams and start living from the frequency of already having them. You begin to embody that energy, treat it like a frequency you step into, rather than a far-off fantasy you hope might one day arrive. And this frequency, the one that activates the reality you've been visualizing, isn't some vague concept or abstract theory. It's vibrational and specific. It carries a certain texture, a calm certainty, a steady rhythm, a grounded presence that neither rushes nor craves. It doesn't wonder when your life will finally shift. It already knows. Acting from this identity, that of someone who has already received, forces the quantum field to adjust simply because it has to. So why does this shift often feel so hard? Why is it so easy to picture something wonderful but so difficult to hold the energy of already mine? Because your past conditioning has wired you to vibrate at the frequency of not yet. You've been taught to wait your turn, to earn your place, to prepare yourself before you can claim your dreams. Now, you're being invited to let go of all that conditioning and just embody what once seemed like a distant fantasy. At first, this can feel unnatural, almost like lying to yourself. But that sensation only happens because your nervous system hasn't yet caught up with the truth of who you are. The frequency you're stepping into isn't new to your soul. It's simply unfamiliar to your body. Part of this process is about retraining your body to hold the vibration your soul has always known. You're not chasing a future goal. You're remembering your alignment with it. You might ask, how do I stay in that frequency when nothing in my life has visibly changed yet? The answer is you become the change first. You decide your vibration leads, and the evidence follows. You shift your attention from what's missing to what's already present, from what you want to who you are in this moment. Day after day, this practice roots a new energy in you, one that doesn't collapse under pressure or dissolve when life gets noisy again. It becomes your new baseline. That's when the field begins to bend toward you, not because you're forcing it, but because you've finally matched its frequency. This is the kind of transformation we're going to explore. It's not just about manifestation as a concept. It's about embodying the precise frequency that unlocks the life you've been dreaming of. We'll look at how to break free from the cycle of lack and step fully into the vibration of embodiment. How to act as if, without faking it. How to move through life as though your dreams are already yours, not to impress the universe, but because you're living in true harmony with it. There is a code, a specific energetic rhythm that the universe responds to. Once you learn to tune into it, everything around you begins to respond gently but powerfully and consistently. So, are you ready to remember what it feels like to be a true match for the reality you've always held in your heart? Let's get clear about something right now. The quantum field doesn't care what you want. It cares about who you are. It doesn't read your vision board or tally up your intentions or count your affirmations. Instead, it mirrors the frequency you emit. And that frequency isn't rooted in your goals, but in your identity. Not the identity you talk about, but the one you actually live from. The one that influences how you enter a room, how you respond to silence, how you carry yourself when no one else is watching. Because in this quantum world, reality isn't something you acquire. It's something you generate from the inside out. What does this look like in your everyday life? It means if you visualize abundance, but your everyday choices show fear about spending money, the field receives fear, not abundance. If you imagine love but reject compliments or push people away, your field is reading resistance, not openness. If you dream of expansion but speak about your life as if you're stuck, the field believes you because it doesn't interpret dreams. It reads coherence. This explains why so many people feel stuck even when they're doing everything right. They meditate, journal, visualize, script, and still don't see results. Why? Because their thoughts and emotions are misaligned. They're trying to manifest from the mind, but their body is signaling fear, unworthiness, or survival. The result is mixed signals, and the quantum field simply mirrors that static back to them. The real shift happens when your thoughts, feelings, and actions all say the same thing. This alignment is called coherence. In coherence, your frequency becomes strong, stable, and magnetic. That's when reality starts to rearrange itself to match your energy. Think of desire without identity as mere noise. But when your identity and your desire merge, your signal becomes pure, and the quantum field responds not to desire itself, but to certainty. How do you step into that certainty, especially when you don't yet see the evidence outside? You create the evidence from within. You start showing up as the person who already lives the reality you envision. You stop waiting to feel successful and begin dressing, speaking, and moving like someone who already is successful. Not because you're pretending, but because you're reconnecting with who you truly are beneath any doubt. Teachers like Neville Goddard call this living from the end. Joe Dispenza describes it as firing and wiring new neural patterns. Greg Braden calls it emotional coherence. The terminology varies, but the essence is the same. Stop trying to become, start being. This quantum frequency isn't something to chase. It's something to choose to inhabit repeatedly until your nervous system adjusts and it becomes your new normal. Until the self-talk that once sabotaged your progress finally quiets down. Until that new way of being feels so natural you can hardly recall what it was like to live in a state of lack. Transformation won't fully take hold. It takes courage to embody a version of yourself that the world hasn't yet reflected back. At first, this can feel isolating, confusing, even false. But that resistance? It's just your old identity holding on, trying to protect its place in your energy field. You can acknowledge that part of you without letting it take the wheel, because now, you are the signal. You become the standard, the point of calibration. Instead of reacting to external circumstances, you become the source of the shift. You don't fake confidence, you discover the frequency of already having arrived, and live from that place. It's about teaching your system to feel secure in the space of enough. When your subconscious feels safe, your energy naturally expands. And when your energy expands, the field responds. So if you've been stuck trying harder, pushing more, looping in doubt, it's time to realize you don't need to hustle your way into your dreams. The version of you who already lives that reality isn't far off. It exists on a different frequency. One that is more stable, more embodied, more aligned. This version knows how to move, speak, decide, and feel because, for them, The dream is already a done deal. It's time to meet that version of yourself. Here's where many people stumble. The phrase, act as if, is often misunderstood. It's been reduced to a cliché about pretending or putting on a mask, something superficial or forced. But acting as if is not about deception. It's frequency training. It means aligning your body, mind, and emotions with the signal of your desired reality before you see any outside proof. You don't wait for permission from the world. You become the living evidence. In doing this, you send a clear, unwavering message to the field. I am ready. I have arrived. Match me. It's not easy, especially when your environment still mirrors your old self. Your finances might still look tight. Your relationships might replay old dynamics. Yet, you're invited to act from the new frequency regardless, because this is how energy collapses into form, not by waiting for evidence, but through embodying the identity. The question then becomes, how do you do this? Start with small, deliberate changes. You don't need to transform everything overnight. Instead, shift how you move through your day, how you talk about yourself, how you carry your posture, how you respond when good things happen. Do you accept them fully, or do you doubt their reality? Every subtle action communicates your true belief about what you deserve. Imagine if you were already living your highest vision. How would you wake up? What would you wear when no one's looking? How would you breathe, speak, and walk? This isn't about surface appearances. It's about energetic posture. Would you still shrink in certain rooms, apologize for your truth, dismiss your intuition to keep peace? Or would you start choosing like someone who trusts themselves deeply, someone who no longer needs to get their dreams because they've already become the person who naturally lives them? As you shift your internal signal, everything else starts to realign. This process is often called quantum shifting because the smallest decisions act like ripples in a pond, creating waves far beyond what you can immediately see. Instead of asking, when will this happen? Try asking, how would I move today if I knew it had already happened? This is when your behavior stops being reactive and becomes magnetic. When your words, tone, and presence start to embody the reality you envision, you're no longer chasing something outside of yourself. You're living from alignment, and the universe can't help but respond. Suddenly, people treat you differently. New ideas flow in, and coincidences unfold. Not because luck favored you, but because your signal is strong enough to cut through the noise. You've stopped leaking energy into someday, and you've begun to embody the now. This is coherence. This is how manifestation truly operates, not by pleading, scripting, or trying harder, but by becoming the energy your future self already lives in. The mind will resist. It will whisper doubts like, but we don't have that yet, or isn't this unrealistic? Those voices are your past trying to keep you small. Listen, acknowledge, then keep moving forward. This journey isn't about convincing others. It's about teaching your own field to trust the truth your soul already knows. So today, speak one sentence as if it's already true. Make one decision as if you've already arrived. Take one step as though it belongs to you. The more you act like what you desire is already yours, the more the field believes it. And when the field believes, reality begins to bend and shift in response. There will be moments when everything seems to pause. You've done the internal work, steadied your energy, stopped the chase, but nothing dramatic changes on the surface. Still, something inside feels different. Your mind quiets. Your nervous system feels safer. You begin to notice subtle shifts in how you relate to the world around you. Then, without searching, signs begin to appear, repeated numbers like 777 showing up everywhere you look. On clocks, receipts, license plates. At first, you might dismiss it as coincidence, but a part of you, now more attuned, knows it's not random. It's a message, a gentle activation, a vibrational mirror reflecting your alignment back to you. You weren't seeking a sign, and that's why it came. The field doesn't respond to neediness, it responds to resonance. The number 7 repeated 3 times is no accident. It signals that your energy has aligned deeply enough for the quantum realm to acknowledge you. In many spiritual traditions, 7 symbolizes divine wisdom, intuition, and inner mastery. When it appears tripled, it goes beyond numerology and becomes a signature of coherence, not perfection, but congruence. It means your thoughts, feelings, and actions have stopped contradicting one another. You're no longer trying to create a reality from a place of fear or doubt. You're no longer holding a vision in your mind while your heart sends mixed signals. You've stepped into harmony, perhaps not perfectly all the time, but consistently enough to rewrite your timeline. This is the real alchemy, the moment when your inner frequency becomes the magnetic force that draws your dreams from possibility into experience. In the realm of quantum possibilities, the appearance of 777 signals a moment when countless potentials begin to converge toward a singular outcome. You remain within the boundless field of infinite possibilities. Yet your energy, shaped by emotional balance and inner transformation, draws reality toward the specific version you've been quietly aligning with. The universe doesn't respond to your words, but to the vibrational frequency you emit. This number, far from a simple reward or lucky charm, is a resonance, an echo of what you've already become deep within. Many misunderstand this sign, mistaking it for a cue to relax or step away, to tell themselves the work is done. But this is precisely not the time to retreat. Instead, it's a call to ground yourself even more firmly, to hold steady in the current you've created, and allow the quantum field to continue its slow, deliberate unfolding. Manifestation rarely occurs as a sudden event. What appears instant to the physical world is actually the culmination of gradual shifts in the unseen quantum landscape. The moment marked by 777 is a delicate balance point, where intention meets inevitability. It's the juncture where reality no longer feels like something chasing you, but something that naturally forms and unfolds around you. Yet, this number symbolizes more than just alignment. It invites you to deepen your awareness and presence, to stop the searching and instead embody fully the feeling of the version of yourself who already lives this reality. How would that version move? Would they hurry or hesitate? Would doubt shadow their confidence, or would they rest in trust, knowing the unseen foundations are steadily strengthening beneath the surface? This is a fundamental structural shift, not simply about manifesting an external result, but about rewiring your very essence. How you think, feel, move, speak, and make decisions all become part of the new framework the field responds to. The number 777 isn't forecasting what will come next, it confirms what's already present. When you resonate with this message, not just intellectually but deeply, energetically, it's important to pause and let your nervous system receive the reassurance. Let your heart soften into the understanding that you're not still aligning. You already are. The shift is no longer on its way, it's settling in. What you once dreamed is no longer a distant hope, but a frequency you finally learned to inhabit. If you want to make this vibration tangible, not only within yourself, but also in the collective energy around you, you can declare it. Share 777 as a quiet affirmation, not as a superstition, but as a statement of recognition. I see it. I remember. I'm aligned. Sometimes numbers are just numbers, but other times they serve as a language, a mirror, a code speaking directly to the truth you're ready to live. Perhaps no one has told you this before, but true manifestation isn't about grabbing what you want from the outside world. It's about reconnecting with who you really are, the core frequencies you've always carried. Abundance, peace, purpose, and love aren't distant treasures to be earned. They already exist within you, waiting to be anchored and stabilized. You've already touched this state before, even if briefly. Those rare moments when time seems to pause and you feel utterly at peace without explanation. Times when your heart opens unexpectedly, the right words come effortlessly, or decisions flow from a place deeper than thought. These weren't random or accidental. They were glimpses of your true self emerging more fully, the self that naturally draws in the life you desire. Quantum manifestation isn't about forcing these moments to happen more often. It's about expanding your capacity to remain in them, to make those peaceful states your new baseline. It's about becoming someone who doesn't need to visualize because you're already vibrating in harmony with what you once only imagined. This evolution may not happen overnight, but you'll begin to notice subtle shifts. Conversations will feel more aligned. Your inner calm will persist amid chaos, and choices will come with ease rather than overthinking. These are signs your frequency is settling, that you're no longer reaching out to the field but merging with it, becoming part of its flow. You radiate a steady energy that no longer negotiates with past doubts or fears. Still, the old self will whisper. It will say, "You're not ready," or "Who do you think you are?" and tempt you back into old patterns. Each time this happens, you face a choice. Revert to the familiar timeline or hold the new frequency just a little longer. Your true power lies not in loud declarations or frantic effort, but in your steady commitment to live from the place of already mine. Not to impress anyone or fool the universe, but because it is who you are now. You stop searching for external signs because you have become one. You move beyond performing worthiness and embody it fully. The universe doesn't need persuasion. It simply reflects back the energy you put forth. This is genuine manifestation, not bending reality to your will, but matching your inner vibration so precisely that the external world mirrors you perfectly. It's not about manipulating matter, but clearing resistance, sharpening your signal, and collapsing the gap between your highest self and your current experience. When this happens, something unexpected arrives. Peace. Not the buzz of excitement or adrenaline, but a deep, grounded peace. You realize you're no longer chasing or striving, but allowing and receiving. You witness your own energy returning to you in the form of relationships, opportunities, clarity, and beauty. There is no greater transformation than this, and the more you return to this space again and again, the more your nervous system learns it's safe to dwell here. Not just visit, but truly live within this alignment. Life isn't perfect, but your coherence no longer depends on external circumstances. You've internalized the field, learned to trust it, and it trusts you in return. So take a deep breath now. Let this truth settle into your body, not as new knowledge, but as a remembered reality. Feel your energy soften into the understanding that you have already shifted. You are not waiting for the quantum leap. You are the quantum leap. If this message found you at the right moment, if it helped connect a missing piece you've been chasing, then perhaps this isn't just another piece of content. Maybe it's a mirror reflecting the person you're becoming, a reminder that the frequency you've been visualizing isn't a fantasy. It's real, vibrational, and you are living in it right now. If this resonates with you, I invite you to stay connected with this space, not because you feel you should, but because it feels aligned. This isn't just a channel, it's a frequency. And if you found yourself breathing differently as you listened, you're already tuned in. Here we don't just watch videos, we practice new timelines. We don't just consume ideas, we collapse possibility into reality. We don't just learn, we remember, and I'm grateful you're here. Let's keep shifting forward, together,